You are now listening to Respond If You Please. This is the space where we sit down with real people in real life making real moves. We aren't interested in the highlight reels or the polished scripts. We're looking for the grit, the grind, the process, and the stories happening right outside your front door. Sit back, lean in, and join the conversation.
All right, we're back. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the last episode. We are here with a new episode, episode 3, Respond If You Please, where we sit down with real people in real life and have real conversations, because Facebook is just highlights and Instagram is just highlights. But with that being said, we got a great episode today. One of my biggest influences in anything creative, I say it all the time, because this guy is the type of guy who's always said, just go for it, like do it. Go for it. He puts his money where his mouth is. He goes and goes for it. And I want to share his story to everybody, because a lot of people don't realize the road it took for him to get here and in this shop and have his own business and be a small business owner and have the support of the community behind him. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my brother, Mr. Loe Flores. What's up? One day we're gonna have a live audience. I keep saying it. One day we're gonna have a live audience. I want to do a live audience for here, but I mean, we would have had 2 people. The camera's all the way back there. Well, I'm sure we could have set it up.
Like a stadium seating?
Yeah, stadium seating. We could have had something. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you for agreeing to do this.
For sure,
I mean,
for sure.
For those of you that don't know, Loe is basically my brother. I tell everybody there's 2 people I can remember from being like a young kid, like 5 or 6 years old. When we first moved to town, we moved to town in 91. Yeah, I was 91. I was born in 86. So I was like 5 or 6 years old. 2 people I remember the most from moving to town, which was our very first friend in the neighborhood. We lived on Angela Street. His name was Kevin Simmons. Rest in peace, Kevin Simmons. But Kevin Simmons would come over and play Nintendo with us. Like I said, my brother was 6, I was 5. And then the second person I remember from, what grade is that? First grade, second grade? I guess 5 or 6 is first, second grade?
Like first grade?
Yeah, first or second grade. The second person I remember is Loe. And ever since then, it's always been us and Loe. And so if Loe is the person I remember since I was second grader, first grader, I consider him a brother, and I know he considers.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Yeah, so I know his backstory. I know his origin story. And we were talking earlier, and some people will come into the shop and they'll say, man, dude, you're successful. You do this, you do that. And I was like, it must have been easy. And honestly,
nah, it's definitely not easy. It wasn't easy. It's not an easy road. There's still, obstacles.
Yeah, I tell everybody, like, yes, Loe cuts and Loe's like deep into the community, but also Loe started when we were in, I think he was like in 8th grade. No, he's probably younger than that.
6th grade.
6th grade. So I was like in 4th grade. My brother was in, I think Oscar.
He was 6th grade.
6th grade.
Yep,
yeah.
same,
So then I was in 5th grade. He was in 6th grade.
Yep.
And that's when Loe started cutting hair. And it's crazy to think that, because
we're messing everybody up.
And we all had the same haircut.
Hot clippers.
I remember. I forgot about hot clippers, dude.
They were burning. Yeah, clippers were burning.
And then I remember Loe would always come with a fresh haircut, or come outside, or we'd play or whatever, or we'd see him in the neighborhood, and we're like, man, bro, you get your haircut every day or what? Like, he goes, no, I've been doing it myself. And once he said that, oh man, it was on, bro. We're like, Loe, you do me? Loe, you do me? And he'll do it, but we all had the same haircut.
Little restroom or outside in the front of the apartments.
You had a...
Yeah. I had just the, those real cheap, thin mirrors. It was like a foot wide, like 4 feet high, from Walmart. Mm-hmm. And I'd stack 2 or 3 shoe boxes and then put it in the corner of the restroom and close the door in the restroom, and I'd cut my hair.
And then would you use the medicine cabinet and turn it?
No, I learned how to cut with my left hand. So I'd cut my left hand, edge up, like everything. Like, so it was bad.
Oh, is that how you got the left hand layup?
Yeah, but it was like a.
So 6th grade.
That's another story.
That's another story. 6th grade, you started cutting hair, right? And then, of course, high school, you're still cutting every now and then. Were you cutting in high school?
I was cutting in high school, at the house for sure, and I was cutting like in the restroom or in the locker room, just a little bit, nothing too crazy. So, where I go to a friend's house, cut hair and stuff like that. But it was mainly at the apartments. With my mom getting mad and getting hair all over her dining room chair and all that good stuff. So.
And then, so after high school, you didn't go to barber school?
I didn't. I did not go to barber school. I went to medical school.
I remember that. Yep. In Arizona?
In Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah. Went to medical school.
That was a weird time too, because it was like, when you were gone, it's like, man, it's just...
No, you know what? One thing I do remember about this, and it's funny, I don't know if you're going to remember it, but you bought me for my graduation present. Do you remember what you bought me?
I remember, bro.
You bought me a radio, and it looked like an alien. It was red, like a maroonish color, almost. No, it was like a darker, like the Westoso, the Scarlet Red. Yeah. It was like that, and it was a radio, and I took it to school with me.
Was it like a circle one?
It was like a round, it's like a circle one. Kind of looked like almost like an alien, but it was like.
And it had the CD player on top.
Yes.
And it had a handle.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Oh man, I remember that. I remember you brought it to my grandma's house. That's where we had the little barbecue.
Man, I don't even remember that, bro.
Yes, that's like the only gift I remember getting.
I like giving gifts.
No, yeah, I like getting money.
I don't do money because it's like, man, I like doing gifts where it's like, what can somebody use? Like even when you open the shop here.
Oh man!
Like I got you the mini toolbox.
The toolbox, yes.
Yeah, I got you the mini toolbox to put. I mean, whatever you need, and if you're gonna put.
I tried putting clippers in there. They don't fit.
Yeah, they don't fit.
Even the teenagers don't fit.
But yeah,
I was like, I could put my money in there, and then.
Sorry. Make too much money. Make too much money in a little toolbox.
No. It was like, nah, we can't do that. You can't lock it.
Yeah. So, you can't lock it. So after high school, you didn't cut.
Right.
You started. What was it? You were like a surgical tech or something?
I went for surgical tech. Yeah, I was going to school as a surgical tech. Went to Phoenix, and then. I was there for a while, and then I transferred and went to Florida. Went to school in Florida. Worked in Florida. I was, I worked at Old Navy, Banana Republic, Gap. Went to school. I worked at Foot Locker out there.
You did the whole mall run.
Did the whole mall thing over there.
And throughout all that time, were you still cutting?
I was cutting my own hair over there. Yeah, I was cutting my own hair in Florida.
You can cut your own hair everywhere.
But I wasn't cutting anybody else in Florida. It was like kind of like a dead stop, being in there. So they're jamming out there. It's about to get crazy with the food.
I know. I thought what's it called? I thought somebody hit something, but this food truck just showed up.
It's next door. They had a big old pachanga outside.
So he's still cutting.
Yeah.
He's still cutting, but he's working, doing other things.
Yeah. Yep.
And you come back to town.
Moved back to Corpus. Yep.
And then I
started refinery work.
Yeah,
man. I started doing refinery work, and I just got stuck. I thought the money was amazing. It is good. It was good. But at the time, you're working 84 hours, and I was making $1,200 a week, working 84 hours a week. I was like killing myself, So it was good at the time.
Yeah.
But you grow, I was growing, I was learning, getting certifications and all that good stuff. So,
that's what I tell a lot of people when they ask about you, right? And they're like, how long have you known Loe? What time is he open? What time is he close? People ask me that all the time, right? Because they're always trying to get fit in. Right. And I'm like, look, if you're gonna pay, Loe's gonna be there. And that's what I tell everybody. Like, your success starts with your work ethic. What would you say to somebody who wants to start something and doesn't really have the work ethic?
It's not gonna fully work if the work ethic isn't there. Yeah. If the success that you're looking for, you're not gonna get the return if the work ethic isn't there. If the hunger isn't there.
Yeah.
So you definitely gotta be willing to do anything and everything to get better.
When you're in the plant life, you start at what time?
I was up at 3:30 in the morning, 4 a.m, you know, getting up, going to the gym, getting food, be at work, you know, by 5:30, ready to go till 5:30, and sometimes it was like 16-hour shifts. So, there were long days. There were tough days. Yeah, there were some tough days.
So, those long days here don't compare to...
Nah. So, you know, I tell like a lot of the young guys that want to be barbers, but they say they want to do it because they see like the things that we do outside of the shop, or because we're hanging out, and you know, we get to...
You're hanging out on a Tuesday.
Yeah, hanging out on Tuesday, or they see me at the baseball games or the football games, or, you know, stuff like that. And you're like, I get to be here. It's like another home for me. So I get to watch sports, listen to sports, movies, music, have good conversations.
He's saying that. He's saying that right now. We got the USA versus the Dominican game on right now.
Yeah, so
you're always in the know.
Yeah, all the time. So, kind of going back to like the work thing, like if I love it, like it's not really work for me. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with cutting hair, so it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
You know, I love being here. The girls, they get mad because if I can come in, I'll come cut hair. You know, I'm here. I get calls, text messages all the time, all hours of the day, all hours of the night. You know, people set up appointments at 3 a.m, 4 a.m, and I'm accepting them. You know, because I'm awake already, and they're like, "Geez, you're already up." Like, yeah, like it's time to go. So I'm in here usually 6 a.m. So yeah, that's a lot of my clientele. You know, and that's one of the things. You know, having to cater to the.
That's another thing you offer. That's what having a small business, like where you're going to be successful, is that what can you offer that there's a barbershop right here,
right?
There's a barbershop right there. But what can you offer that these other guys aren't offering? Because I mean, we got a lot of good people in town that can cut.
Man, there are a ton. I have a lot of good friends. I have some, not a ton. I got a group of good friends that are really talented, that cut really good hair, and especially the shop that I came from. A few of us opened up our own shop, and man, they're really talented, and they're getting other guys in their shops that are talented as well. So it's kind of like, you know, it's growing. Like the community is getting really big in like the barber industry over here. So there's probably about 8 shops like just down the street, but you got to do some things different, like, you know, set yourself apart, and stuff like that. So I mean, we just kind of like try to, you know, set a different trend.
Yeah, and I'm sure with the work ethic of coming in at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I mean, because if it's me, and if look, I'm gonna be up already. Like if you can cut me at 6, I'll come. Right, and I really need it, like I'll come.
Right, and I have a lot of clients like that.
Yeah,
that just. They don't care.
Yeah.
They just want to get in the shop. So they just want to get their haircut. And because their schedule is so busy, so I try to get around, like, you know, such a busy schedule that they got. So it's, you know, I feel like it's important to be able to, you know, cater to the customer while you're trying to build your business. Because that's the only way that it's really going to work. You know, you can't show up at 12 in the afternoon and leave at 4 or 5 and, you know, and to be like fully scheduled, fully booked, and, you know, do good for yourself and your family if you're not putting the time in, you know. I remember when I first started, I was cutting some people, but my schedule wasn't crazy at all. And I was calling like people, hey, come just let me do a video, let me do a haircut, let me, you know, Facebook, Instagram, remember that? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I was doing stuff like that just to get them to come back after, like, you know, that cut. But it was tough. It was really tough trying to get the clientele in, sitting there for 10, 12 hours a day, getting there 8 in the morning till 8, 9 o'clock at night, and not having any haircuts. Yeah. And now we're about 130 to 150 haircuts a week. So
for the shop, the whole shop?
For me by myself. Yeah, me by myself. And then I can see like the rest of the group, like the crew, like starting to grow. Yeah. So the traffic is getting crazy.
Getting there regulars.
Yeah, it's starting to get busy. Yeah. It's starting to get busy. So it's really good. I like seeing everybody win. Yeah. So it's cool. It's really good.
Yeah. So where are we at? You're working refinery work. Mm-hmm. You're working long days, long hours, which translates to a business owner, like being a business owner. Because I had a small business a while back. I took some lessons. It was kind of tough, but one thing I did learn is that when you're a small business owner, if someone calls, like, I gotta work.
You gotta work. Yeah.
Like, so I see you taking that opportunity a lot, which is, I mean. It's just the name of the game, right? Because it could all end tomorrow.
No,
right?
facts. Yeah.
I mean, you built the clientele, right? And everybody's hair still grows. Right. But, I mean, they could easily go somewhere else tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a ton of great barbers, like we said, So, just being good to people and, giving out good haircuts, making good relationships and, keep like my biggest thing is turning the business relationship into a friendship. That's the most important thing to me. Yeah. I want to, make sure everybody's good, everybody's right, and, all that good stuff. So, if we could turn the client relationship into a friendship, then that's even better for me. Yeah. So I have clients that I don't even, like some that can't get in and they have to go somewhere else, but they still text, they still call, and I'm worried, how's the family, how's this, how's that? And, so it's all good, it's all good. It's just the way it's been for me lately because the schedule's so busy. Yeah. So sometimes you have to, sometimes they got to go to Tino or the Pat or, whoever. Yeah, for sure. Just, it is what it is. You've had to do it, plenty of times.
All the time, bro. I just walk in and I'm like, whoever can get me, like, I don't care. Like, if you can't mess this up, like, I'm okay with it because it takes the distraction off my face. Yeah, right? Because I'm already hurting here, right? I'm ugly to begin with.
But it comes out live every time.
But the haircut always comes out live. So if they mess up my hair, it's just a distraction from my ugly face. So that's all I gotta say. So you're working refineries. You're working refineries, and you finally say, "All right, I want to cut hair."
Yeah.
Like, take us through that. Like, when was it? Because people don't realize it, but had to have been around.
It was right as COVID was happening.
That's what I was gonna say. COVID.
Yeah, it was right as COVID was happening. I remember walking into the plant and it was already starting to like die down, like where they're telling people you can't come in.
Yeah.
You're off for 3 months, you're off for 4 months, and we'll do all this good stuff. So that's when it started to happen. But I remember going into work one day and I'm badging in. As I'm badging in, I'm like telling myself, man, I can't wait to get out of here.
Damn.
And I haven't even started work yet. And I'm already mentally like checked out. So that was like, man, at that point, I was already like, it's time. Like, I'm not happy anymore. Like, and
you were like in Port Lavaca?
No, at this, I was already here at Lyndale, at the Lyndale plant, and we've been there for a long time.
But I remember there was a point in time where you were going back and forth to Port Lavaca for like years, right?
Oh, it was like 16 months, like back and forth. And then we ended up staying out there. And I was out there when we bought our first house. We bought our house, and then I was gone when Jade was born. Actually, Jade was born. Yeah, so I was gone. I was in Port Lavaca.
I didn't even know that, bro.
Yeah, I was gone. I was on the road. So I was coming back and forth all the time, and then we ended up staying out there because they gave us a bigger contract, and it was insane. It was such a mess, Yeah. So it was tough, And
that's the thing with like you work a job that pays the bills. At the end of the day, it's gonna pay the bills, but it sucks because you might not be happy.
Gone. Yeah.
You're number one. You're gone, right? Yeah. You miss Jade being born.
So you're already not happy.
Yeah, now you're here all the time and you're like, nah, no kids.
Yeah, no, yeah.
No more kids.
Yeah. Nah, but the luxury of that is that, they get to come and hang out and chill, and, whenever the kids want to come, they can come, and Mandy can come in and sit down and, do her straighten her hair or do whatever she wants to do and talk. And I don't have to sit down and eat lunch in front of the equipment, the exchangers that, that I'm going to be working on in 20 minutes. Yeah. Where I was on the contractor side and you couldn't leave the plant, so one of those, better things that, I get to burn off and leave and eat lunch, and I could book whatever 2-hour lunch if I want, or hour and a half, and just kind of break away for a little bit. So I want to eat with people sometimes. Sometimes I need to just be by myself. So, so it's good. It's been a real blessing.
So 2020, you're like, all right, this ain't working for me. And you finally sit down and you're like, all right, I'm good. I got a little savings. Yep. I'm going to start barber school. What was the reaction from people when you told them, like, no, I'm starting barber school?
Nah, they didn't. Some people were just, actually, almost everyone was like, nah, that's crazy. Like, because I was doing good already in the plant where I was making money.
I know.
I was making really good money, and I was on a crew that always had work. We're like, we could not work, There was so much work for us. So I was working with a really good group of guys. But people were just like, that thought I was crazy, like, for leaving the plant. because it was, good money.
I mean, it was good money. You're making a living.
Yeah.
You bought a house.
Bought a house with it, everything.
I think that for me, that was the hardest thing for us to do, like, as adults. And I'll say it, and people can say whatever they want, but to buy a house and to get everything lined up, and you're like, all right, we got to have this, we got to have that. And like, oh, let's just buy this house. How can't we just put money down and sign for it? Right?
Yeah.
It's when you got a lot of money, it's easy. I'm sure it works like that. But I mean, that's something the earlier you buy, the better it is for you. Right. The earlier you buy, the better it is. The better if you get a good spot and you get a good interest rate. But you start early, right? So that by the time you're in your 50s, hopefully by the time you're in your 50s, that house is paid off.
Yeah,
you
paid off.
Have a 30-year note or whatever the case is.
Yep.
So yeah, it's tough, man, because you're working a living, and then you're just like, all right, I'm gonna take time off, and it takes what, a year?
It's so you could do like 6 months, 9 months, a year. Just depending like really how you pay. Like if you paid in full, you could do it in 6 months. If however you set up your payment, that's how long you're gonna take to do it. So I set mine up for a year, and I finished in 9 months.
Yeah.
So it was I was able to work. Well, actually, a day I got laid off going into barber school. Got laid off the plant, and then I went days and nights to barber school. Got laid off, and then when we had remember that big old freeze we had?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they called me back like 5 weeks later, and 5 or 6 weeks later they called me back. They had an emergency shutdown, and there was
because of the freeze.
Yeah, because of the freeze, their fire water was busting everywhere or something, and so we went like a 15-16 week turnaround or something like that. So I was turnaround and school at nighttime.
Yeah, that was like in February of 22 or 20.
21.
I'm sorry, 20. No, it's 20.
20. Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, 20.
Yeah, because nothing had shut down yet.
Yep. So it was.
So you went during
while working
during the freeze.
During the freeze, yeah.
All day.
Yeah, we're out there like we're getting it. Yeah.
Oh, in Lindale.
In Lindale, yeah. During the freeze, yeah. So we're out there for weeks and weeks.
And still
going to barber school.
And then once that job finished, they're like, all right, let's go to the next job.
No. I had stayed there ever since then. Before that, I was already there for a few years, and then we got laid off. I started barber school, went back a few weeks later, and we stayed there on maintenance.
Oh,
yep. Yeah, we stayed on maintenance. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for those of you that don't know what that means, when you're a contractor, there's a scope of work, right? And it's going to be, here's the start point. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do all this stuff, and here's the finish point. But when you're on maintenance, there's something that's always breaking. So you're always fixing
routine
something.
Work. Yeah. So you basically turnaround work. You work yourself out of a job.
Yeah.
Basically. So, but maintenance, you stay and.
Like, okay, what else broke? Let's go fix this.
Yeah.
Let's go fix that.
Yeah, just maintenance work.
So I mean, maintenance work is. I mean, it's considered better because there's always work.
Yeah, there's always some kind of almost guaranteed.
Yeah. In a way, it's guaranteed because something's guaranteed to break. Or something's guaranteed to leak, or something's gonna need to be like changed out, or whatever the case is. Yeah. Oh man, so that's probably a harder decision to make then, right? If you're going from maintenance, like guaranteed work,
to not making anything.
Yeah, to going to school to start over.
To start completely over, different career that I've already I was right there, Yeah. So I was busy. I was working. So yeah, it was tough. Yeah, I went from making decent money to making no money, basically. So it was, luckily that I had the support I had with Mandy, So because if not, it was tough. Yeah, it was some tough days where as a man, you're not bringing the money in that you're used to bringing in,
Yeah, no, so for sure.
It's tough, man.
You're looking at Mandy like, hey, I believe in you.
Yeah. I was like, let's go.
She's like, I think I'm going to have to get a second job. You're like,
I made a big face.
You can do it.
It was just coming out of work.
He's like, I think I'm going to have to get a second job to take care of us while you're at barber school. You're like, I believe in you. You can do it.
Yeah.
No, that's
also number one fan.
Also number one fan. You were like the ladies whose husband worked turnarounds now. You're like, watch me make my wife lunch for the bank.
Yeah. So sweeping and vacuuming all day. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, bro.
Heck yeah.
So, man, to turn down maintenance, you're like, I already started barber. You had already started barber school. So you're like, I'm already like, I'm sure you already paid something.
Yes, I was already invested. Like, I had already paid. Man, I think when I first got in there, I paid almost half down.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it was it's a big investment going in. So then that's one thing Mandy was like, you can do it. Like yes, but you're gonna finish.
Oh yeah.
Like you're gonna finish. So it was tough. It was scary. It was one of the scariest things ever was letting that job go.
Dang.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. So
then you're in barber school, you finish, right? And then you have like 300 clients right off the bat.
No.
He's like,
nah. 3. Drop the zeros.
Yeah. I remember when he was in barber school, he's like, man, I need people to cut. I was like, all right, bro, I'll show up. And I posted pictures on my Facebook, and I'll probably find that picture.
Oh man, don't find that picture.
I'm gonna find
it. Find
and I was so proud of that haircut. I was like, low cut my hair.
That's funny.
And he's like, we're gonna have to go short. I need a short haircut. I'm like, all right, go short. I never let anybody go short on my hair. Like my hair is already thin to begin with. So I was like, all right, let's go short. And it looked better because I was probably about 30 pounds lighter.
Like when you used to box.
Nah, not that light.
Yeah.
Not that light. I was about 30 pounds lighter. My hair was a little bit thicker than it is now. But it still wasn't like, I shouldn't have walked around with that short haircut.
It was good.
Yeah, I shouldn't have walked around with that short haircut.
No, but I see cuts though, and I'm like, like when you do the haircut, and back then it's like, ooh yeah, like shoot, like getting out the chair, you're like trying to pump them up.
Yeah.
And you go back and you look, you're like, oh my god, this is pretty bad.
No, I was so proud of that haircut. I was like, low cut my hair. He's in barber school. I was like, he's doing it. And I posted a picture on Facebook, and then like I look in my head and I'm just like, he missed a spot here. So he missed a spot.
It's a little higher over here.
I was like, it's all right. I was like, I'm good. Like if this is what it takes for Loe to get his reps in, the time under tension, like I'll sacrifice my hair.
Yeah, it was a good sacrifice.
Yeah.
It was well worth it. It was well worth it.
Yeah. So you finished barber school. Did you shop around for shops?
Oh no, I didn't. I stayed at Lyndale after I finished. I stayed in the plant. Yep, I stayed working on that turnaround, got done, and I stayed in the plant. Yep, I stayed there until they said, hey, we're going to have another layoff. And I was like, man. And every time you hear it, like when you're there, like even though like, Mandy's a good saver. Like she does well with saving money and stuff. It still makes you nervous when you know you're going to get laid off or fired,
Yeah.
So I was kind of a little nervous still. And I remember it was on a Saturday when I was getting laid off, and they're like, we're going to lay you off. And it was in the morning, and I'm like, golly. So I call Mandy, and I'm like, hey, they're laying us off. We're going to be off for 3 months or something like that. She's like, what do you want to do? I said, man, I'm not coming back.
Oh.
I'm not coming back to the plant. I want to cut hair.
Yeah.
So I asked my boss, which was a really good friend of mine, David. His name was David at the plant. And he's like, I tell him, lay me off at lunch. Can you lay me off at lunch? And he's like, what? I was like, lay me off at lunch. I need to get into a barbershop.
We're going to put a plaque of David.
Yeah. Up here. Yeah. And he's just like, why? Like, there's no way. I was like, yeah, lay me off. Like, I'm done.
And that's the thing, right? That's the thing, right? People who get laid off, they're usually at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah.
Right? And they'll keep some people on. Yep. You do some administrative stuff.
No, we were the only crew in there.
Wow.
Out of the whole plant, there was only like 5 or 6 of us. Just one crew out of the whole plant that they had working.
Yeah.
Even if they had a maintenance group, and then I was not on that maintenance group, like the house maintenance, but we ran the maintenance, like part of the maintenance for the plant, and it was only 5 of us in that company that stayed there. And I was just like, nah, like I'm done.
Yeah.
Like this, like I'm gonna go into a plant. So that night, I remember he laid me off, and we went, we ate, we chilled and everything. And I remember being at Target Saturday night, and I called my buddy David, D3, and he owns Faded Vision. And I'm like, hey, I'm ready. Like I'm done. I have everything. I'm good. And he just says, hey, meet me at the shop tomorrow morning.
Sunday morning.
Yep, Sunday morning. And I go
Look at that. It just shows hustlers still hustling on a Sunday. We're here on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And there were still people here cutting. Lowe said he was cutting this Sunday.
Yeah, I was cutting early this morning. Yep.
So even shout out to G3 for even he could have said, hey, wait till not even Monday, because usually these guys are off on Monday.
Yep.
A lot of barbers are off on Monday.
And
Tuesdays.
They just say, just see me on Tuesday.
I'll see me Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll catch up with you Thursday.
Yeah.
Nah, he said, all right, I'll see you Sunday.
Come in tomorrow morning.
Which really says a lot about his character and the way he runs his business, because he's like, no. Like, why are we going to put it off? Just come in on a Sunday.
If you know him, like if you know David, anybody that knows him, he's a really good barber. He's good business owner, good person, good friend, good barber. And he just took a chance on me, just barely getting in, So it was, shout out to David, appreciate that. And I get in Sunday morning, gives me the key, I'm setting up. And the crazy thing is that, check it out, a walk-in comes in. And at this point, the shop had only been open for like 2 or 3 months only. It was a fresh, brand new shop. And a walk-in comes in and he's like, you want to get him? I'm like, yeah, I'll get him. And he's like, all right. So I'm not even done setting up. I start cutting the guy and everything. And then he gives me $50. And I'm like, oh, it's $30 or $25. I think I was charging like $25 at the time. And he's just like, and that was back then. I was charging 25. And then
that was new low price.
Yeah. That was a new me.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you're good, man. 50, it's yours, man. I appreciate it. Looks good. I'm like, dang, $50. I was like, dang. I was like, man, it's gonna be like this every day. I was like, yeah. I didn't cut another head for like 5 days after.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, 5 days after.
Wow.
Yeah. So the shop was real fresh and it was kind of hidden. So the walk-ins weren't too crazy. Yeah. It was so you have to learn the social media thing and do the videos and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and I remember those days because you're like, hey, I'm here, guys.
Yeah.
Anybody needs a haircut?
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head, bro, you just cut my hair 2 days ago.
Yeah, I know it's grown.
I know you need a haircut.
Stubble there. I know it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I remember those days too, which is crazy to think. Like 5 days pass, and then now you're at the weekend, and if you're used to being off on the weekend, it's like, man, to be in a shop and not know if you're gonna get a cut or not. It's like, all right,
it's tough.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure it was like crazy to think like, all right, here we go. Let's see if anybody comes in.
Yeah, I remember like 2 or 3 months in, and I left the shop one night. It was like almost 10 at night, and I think that week, it was toward the end of the week, and I probably had like 7 clients the whole week. And I remember getting to the car, and I called Mandy,
and not all of them paid $50.
No. It was $25 haircut, and it. I mean, $25, Yeah. Some tip, some don't, it's all good, And I get in the car and I call Mandy that night and I'm like crying. Like I'm like shedding a tear and I'm like, I can't do it. Like, I can't do this. Like, I'm not making any money. I can't support our family like this, and there's no way this is going to happen. Like, I'm not going to allow this. Yeah. And she's like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah,
like,
you're
going to stay.
And what year was that?
That was in
at least
2020, I think it was.
Oh yeah, because you finished in like 6 months.
2020, almost 2021. Yeah, because remember I stayed at the plant still a little longer.
So probably like the end of 20 or beginning of 21.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is crazy to think because you went from 20. You went from 20 to the freeze, still working turnarounds, and then by the end of 20 or beginning of 21, Christmas and everything, like you're starting a new job, and then it's like, all right, is anybody coming in?
Yeah, man. So by that time, it was starting to roll. By Christmas and stuff, it was like, okay, my Saturdays are getting booked, and then Friday started getting booked, and then Thursday a little bit, So, but before that, after having that conversation with Mandy that night, she was like, no, we're gonna work on social media. You're gonna get a cut in. You're gonna do this, and I'm talking to David at the same time, also D3, and I'm like, bro, like I need to figure this out. If not, it's not gonna work. So, and I'm trying to cut hair fast. I'm thinking if I cut fast, I'm going to get more people. Like, I can cut more hair, which was not the case. You know, I had to learn to like step back, take my time, do the videos, do nice, clean, precise haircuts and real symmetrical.
Like package it nice.
Yes.
Like, when I say package, of course you can't package a haircut, but you're putting a product out there
exactly
into everybody's hand.
Yeah. So you can't, like the speed didn't matter, you know, and I'm thinking speed matters, and speed at that time didn't matter for me. It was the product, the type of product that, you know, I was putting out. So I had to, you know, move my times from 30 minutes, 35 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes, make, you know, doing the video, the content, and spinning the chair around and doing all this stuff, you know. And the haircuts were getting better. The videos were nice. Like, there were super clean cuts. And and then after that, man, it started to...
And that's one thing that I've noticed from D3 is that he branded his stuff.
Well, he like brands...
his shop, he brands...
Still.
Yeah, I say branded as in like... I'm an old guy, right? So I don't pay attention. But I was paying attention to him because, I mean, I would go to you to get a haircut. So I walk into the shop. And I mean, he's got like legit hats. He had legit. I'm sure he had stickers. I'm sure
stickers, merch.
He had merch. He had everything. So his barbershop wasn't just a shop; like it was a brand of clothing that you can wear. And his actual book of business was like his own brand.
Right.
Especially with 100%. The name, like with the name D3. I mean, how many people are going to walk around in town and say, well, I'm D4. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. Yeah. D4,
yeah.
It's the only one who
Which is also for branding. It's great for branding.
It's great. It is great for branding. Super smart for branding.
So the strategy is amazing. You know?
Yeah, the strategy is amazing. But like, you have to find your niche, and you have to find your crowd, but also none of it matters if your product is trash.
Yeah, it's and cutting hair is so cutthroat. It's crazy, you know.
Oh, bro,
because no one wants to walk around with a crazy haircut.
No, especially
I mean, it's
especially paying, like you said back in the day, it's $25.
Yeah,
I mean now it's 30 or 40 or whatever
40,
it is,
$50, $60 a haircut.
But to walk around with a $40 haircut and not be happy with it,
it's insane to pay like those prices and not have a great haircut, you know? We're not even talking about decent haircuts anymore. We're talking about having a good, great haircut.
Yeah, like a great haircut.
Yeah, because, I mean,
the way that these clippers
are,
the way that these clippers cut nowadays.
And they cost. They're pricey clippers. Everything is, expensive, you know? So, some people don't know that, the price of clippers, the amount of clippers you got to have, or, how many times you got to buy razors and shavers, and, if you drop something, oh man.
Oh, yeah, I think it's out of calibration, and
oh man, it's insane.
The teeth in there are so fine.
Everything, just the blades are $50 to $80 for just blades, you know. And if the blade messes up and the clipper's good, you're buying a $50, $80 blade. And then if the blade's good, but you drop a clipper and the clipper messes up, then you're paying $275 to $300-$400 for a clipper. Yeah. So, and you got several of them. You don't just have one pair of clippers, So. And that's another good thing. You just call David and get a pair of clippers from him.
There you go.
So I just walk 30 seconds down the street.
Yeah. Also, don't drop them.
And don't drop them.
You're going to put them around your neck with a chain so you don't drop them.
Yep. So
branding, right? Branding is a big deal. When you found your lane or your brand, when did you think it was time to go ahead and step out and open your own spot? Was that always in the game plan? Or was it like, I'm just going to chill here and I'm just going to keep cutting forever?
No, it was nice. It was nice because the environment was cool and everybody it was like a family, family environment over there. It started to grow and get more barbers, and you get close to people, and they're the bond is real good. So real good friendships, and they're good people to be around. So no, I knew David, and I knew myself before telling David, but also talking to him while I was there, the plan was always to own my own barbershop. So even when he would cut my hair when I was in the plant and not even going to the shop or anything like that, or hadn't been in the shop yet, David was already cutting my hair, and we would talk about barber school and everything, and I would tell him, like, I'm gonna have my own shop. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna open one up too, and he did it. So it was like, oh, like he did it. So it kind of like drove me more to like, okay, like, and he did it, like I can do this too, And I always, like, I tell some of the clients, like, I used to tell like old man Vic, he's a barber at Can Be Faded. Yeah. And Tim, the barber, he cuts hair also. And they were cutting my hair when I was in junior high and high school after I'd mess up my own hair, and I'd go to them and they'd fix it, and I'd go cut my hair the next week, and every other week I was going over there so they could fix it, right? And I would tell them, I'm gonna cut hair. I'm gonna be a barber. I tell Toby, I'm gonna cut hair one day. I'm gonna cut hair, and man, it's like I see him, and sometimes, and I'll talk to him or whatever, and it's cool because like now I'm cutting hair, So, and Tim is a really close friend of mine, and he always sees me all the time, and he's like, you did it. So
yeah, that's awesome.
It's kind of cool, It's
so the game plan was to always
own my own shop.
Own your own shop.
Always. That was always the plan. So they like, Mandy is like, what did you want to do when you grew up? What did you want to be? What were your aspirations, your goals? Like, what did you really want to do? And I'm like, Troy Aikman, quarterback for the Cowboys. I really want to be a quarterback, And I want to play with the Chicago Bulls because I thought I was like a live point guard. So I was going to play with Michael Jordan. And then it was be a barber.
Be a barber. Yeah. You're like, all right, I'll be a barber.
Yeah. So the height requirement didn't work for one of them. And, I couldn't touch the backboard for the other one. And so.
Yeah. I mean, these work.
Yeah, these are great. Yeah.
The hands works.
Yeah, man. So it was like Dallas Cowboys, Chicago Bulls, barber.
There you go.
Yep. So
that's not bad, bro.
No, it's not. Yeah, it came true. So, and it was tough. Like, it's great seeing everything now from the inside out because the life that, we knew how it was growing up for us. It was tough. Growing up, we didn't have a lot, stuff like that. So it's nice, seeing like the things that we've done, like growing up and, we're homeowners and, we're family men. And
I know, yeah.
Everything. So it's like
that's what I like to tell.
It's cool.
That's what I like to tell the guys or the brothers. I'm like, I always like to point out and be like, you're a good dad. You're a much better dad than your dad was.
Yeah.
I always say, good job, bro.
Yes, sir.
Good job, Bob. You're doing great.
Yeah, you're doing amazing.
But I mean, it's true. I mean, we both come from the west side of town, and it's. I mean, no knock on why we were there or whatever, but I mean, I think it helped build like the tenacity, and the fight and the attitude of why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Why couldn't we do it?
Yeah, why can't we do it? It shouldn't be like there shouldn't. If there's something stopping us, like what can we do to move around it to press forward, right?
Yeah, because everyone has the same opportunity, really. No matter what type of situation you're in, you know, everyone has an opportunity. You can choose left or right, and I just chose not to stay,
Yeah.
And
I mean, you could have stayed in the plant.
Oh, yeah, and I could have stayed in the plant, and things still could have been good,
Yeah.
But I feel like life is a lot better now. With
your quality of life.
Quality of life is way better, you know.
I mean, especially when you work at the plant, you don't go to baseball games and basketball games, and all the cool kids are like, "Hey, what's up, Loe Fades?"
Yeah, nah. What's up, Boilermaker?
What's up, your Boilermaker?
I'm not walking around with my wrenches, inching a
Ooh, that's a nice twit card you got there, dummy.
Yeah, so there's nothing really cool about that. H2S monitor just chilling.
I'm just kidding, guys. It's nothing wrong with working at the plant.
Yeah. If you walk around with your walkie-talkie, you don't do it.
Yeah. But if you do have something you want to go after, I mean, go after it.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if it isn't to the fullest extent, right? Like with me, I have a full-time job, right? Mm-hmm. But I have things I want to do in comedy that I'll tell you guys, right? And I'll tell you my game plan. And the thing I get from Loe is do it. Like, put a plan in place. Do it. Like, it could take 6 months. It could take 2 years. It could take 10 years. But I mean, and it's like the thing that I want, the message I want to convey is that if you have something you want to do, like, work on it. Yeah, and I'm having people on this podcast to let them know, like, hey, these people did it.
Right.
This is their story. Like, I hope that it motivates you to push and do it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, do what you want. Take a chance and have a plan. Execute your plan and just do it. Yeah. Really, because I mean, there's no one stopping you but you. Yeah. So the risks are gonna be high, but the reward is great for sure.
So which risk was harder? The risk to start the barber school or to start your own business? Because now you look around, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chairs, right? 11, 12. There's 12 chairs in here, right?
Yeah, 12 chairs.
So was it harder for you to say, okay, I'm going to be a barber? or is it harder for you to say, okay, I'm going to open my own shop and I'm going to put 12 chairs in there?
No, it was harder to become a barber, to quit and say, hey, this is it. Like, we're starting from ground zero.
Yeah.
That was the hardest thing. Putting it together was like fun. You know, it was exciting, you know, because we got to come in here. And,
we got teared up.
Oh, man. Yeah.
We painted the walls,
the ceiling, and the wall, and the floor.
Yeah. I helped with that. I got some videos that we won't we won't show, because not only did we paint the walls, but we also painted our faces.
Yeah, it was insane.
We'll get canceled for those. We didn't do it on purpose, but we'll get canceled for some of those videos.
I know it.
But
yeah, that was definitely the hardest part. But opening up the shop is still a little like nerve-wracking, but there was like, you know, a lot of like things that you thought could go wrong, you know, but majority of everything went the way we wanted it to. And there's still room to grow, you know. There's a lot of things that you're learning still, and you know, you ask your friends questions, that other friends that own barbershops, and they're calling, and they're, you know, you talk about things, you know, things that could be better, or, you know, things you will and will not allow in the shop and stuff like that, and kind of try to stay different, you know, while my biggest thing is like supporting, you know, like showing love and still supporting like others, you know, even though there's a ton of heads to cut in Corpus, you know, there's a ton. So I don't see any reason for anyone to hate on anybody or not show love to another barber or anything, because man, we're just so busy, you know.
Yeah,
it's insane.
There's never enough. There's more people that need a haircut than there is time in a day.
Yeah, no, facts. You know, there's never enough time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's never enough time. You know, there's never enough time. So yeah, man, show love and show support and talk and communicate, and you know, give advice, and that's the biggest thing. If I have friends that want to come and watch us cut, or watch me cut and ask questions, and they want to see me roll a perm and do a bunch of stuff, or they ask if I can show them, and I'm down with it. It's cool, you know. If I can't get someone in, I'm sending them somewhere else, or I get calls for like braids and stuff like that, and I'm sending them to, you know, David's shop or Jones's shop and all that good stuff, and you know, just kind of a little circle, you know, just a little rotating thing where we show love to each other and show support. Everybody's making money,
and that's one thing I remember about you opening the shop, is that there was, I remember when you started barber school, and you're like, I'm doing it, and we could see that nervousness, but I mean, of course, we're encouraging you the whole time. But when you open the shop, we're like, are you nervous? And we'd ask you, you nervous? And you're like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm gonna work till midnight to pay the bills, and to make sure make sure the shop is moving, is progressing. But we're here. Like, I'm gonna have my own spot. It's gonna work. It's like, I know that if I work late, like you already knew, all right, I got the clientele. If I stay open, I know more people will come. Right. If I book early in the morning, I know people will show up. Yep. So I know if I work hard, like the shop's gonna be successful. Right. 100%. Yeah, that was always on my mind. Yeah. And it took how long did it take to get, I guess, the majority of these? So when it first came into the shop, it was Pat Day. She's a day one, like since 2009. Yeah. I work with Pat side by side at DuPont. And that's always been a conversation, cutting hair, opening up a shop. And then came in, and Tino came in right away. Chris came in right away. So it was 4 of us. 4. Yeah, 4 of us, right? Just right day one. It was 4 of us. Yep, since day one. And then little by little, the rest starts like trickle in. Yeah. Like little by little. So we were pretty full, like within the first year. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, people. Which is crazy to say, because I mean, it takes a while to build, number one, a book of business, but to build clientele or a book of business and walk-ins for the whole shop to stay busy. Yeah. It takes longer, right? Yeah, it does. It takes a lot of time. People say, I have other friends that own businesses themselves, and they're like 2 to 3 years, then you're going to see like a return, and you're going to see like the difference, the growth. And the guys are coming back, and they're getting haircuts in the middle of the day, early in the morning, middle of the day, or at nighttime.
and they're like, Jesus Christ, like, this is crazy. Yeah. Like, this is happening way too fast.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going next? What's the next? Where's the next shop going to be at? And it's like, man, like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this, you know, which there's always like things going on like in my head where I'm like, what's next? Like, what else am I going to do? Yeah. Like, you know, when I get topped out, you know, whatever, like, what's the next thing? Yeah. So things like that always go through my mind. I'm always having conversations with Mandy about that. But, man, the growth is insane, like how fast it's grown. It's been crazy. And I love that, like, you know, y'all are here all the time. Y'all come getting haircuts and y'all see it. And it's awesome when you get a client and they haven't been here, like my college students that go to school and they're gone, and then boom, the shop is full with like barbers, and they're like, what? Like, is this the same shop? Like, yeah, when you were here the last time, there was only 4 people.
Oh, because you have college students come in here.
Yeah, come in here. Like, I was cutting them in high school, and they would leave for college, and then they come back during the breaks and stuff like that to come get a haircut. And they're just like, man, this is not the same shop. Like, now there's 11 people in this shop. Yeah. So now we have 11 barbers, and things are moving. The walk-ins are crazy. You know, people love it. They're all over Google, Google reviews, everything.
Well, that's what I wanted to bring up too, right? So Google and like all the internet stuff, people don't realize how important it is nowadays, but it's super important. I mean, one thing that really shows you have a lot of support behind you is last year you won Locals List Favorite Barber, the Ben's Local List Favorite Barber for 2025, and then the shop won. Did the shop win?
The shop got first.
Yeah, Faderz got first.
And then I got first in Barber.
For Barber.
And then Chris, one of my other barbers, she got third in Barbers also. So we're in the top 3.
Wow.
Yeah, so in our less than a year of opening, we're, you know, at the top already. So, you know, it's pretty awesome, you know, to see the love and support, you know, from everybody. You know, that, you know, walking through and just calling, talking, and just coming to see the shop and stuff like that. So there's guys that get cuts elsewhere, and they come in here and just to talk and see the shop, and it's cool. You know, it's all good. Yeah, it's all love. So, you know, it's really awesome.
Yeah, that shows a lot. It shows a lot of support, and then also, like I said, the Google reviews, right?
Right.
I mean, if they're good. Like how much you get business from that as well, right?
Oh, that's we get a ton of walk-ins. Like the amount of people that go onto Google and, you know, hey, barbershops in Corpus or barbershop, and, you know, it just, you know, we pop up first, you know, so it's pretty cool to see that, you know, we're on the top, you know, on top of the list.
And it's brought people in.
Oh, 100%. You know, people come in and they're returning clients, so. You know, a lot of our barbers are, you know, they're getting busier and busier. Yeah. So it's really nice. You know,
people come in from out of town. They Google.
Yep. Oh, that's.
What do they say they Google?
Barbershop in Corpus.
Oh wow.
Yeah, barbershop in Corpus.
That's pretty vague.
Or just barbershop, and it just boom, Faderz.
Wow.
And it sends you. We have this big old list that comes out with a picture of the shop and everything. And then now when you go on the cut and you look up Faderz Barbershop, the cut itself has like the page, Faderz has a page itself, like that shows the pictures of the shop and all the barbers all together.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was going to say.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. If I ever book with anybody else, I'll look on the cut. And the cut's an app for where you can book appointments for your haircuts. And I'll look on the cut and I'm like, well, where's I know Tino's. Well, where's Joe's? Where's Dro's? Where's Gabby's? Where's Pat's? And if you look on the cut, now it has everybody on there. It didn't do that before, right?
It didn't, no. So Mandy's like my tech person and everything else, because we talked about the internet and social media and all that good stuff, and, you know, our ages and when we were in first grade. So I'm not big on the whole social media thing. So Mandy does my everything, you know, on social media. So she's the one that sets everything up.
And Mandy has her own business.
South Texas Glitz and Glam. So she runs and runs her own business and does everything. So, man,
I want to talk to Mandy about South Texas Glitz and Glam.
Right,
that's a tongue twister.
Yep, South Texas Glitz and Glam. Yep.
I want to talk to her about that because, man, some of the stuff she does, it's like, bro, it's impressive, bro.
It's crazy.
It's all custom.
And she's
like party favors. I mean, but it's everything.
No, and the funny thing is that I have her running around like crazy, like all day, where she's like either And it's like, just crazy things, whether it's like the LLC stuff or the taxes and, getting the towels done so that the barbers can have towels and, keeping the fridge stocked and, doing like, anything that I need. She's like doing it throughout the day. And then South Texas Glitz and Glam kicks in, at 2 a.m, 3 a.m, 4 a.m, and she's working.
And you hear the machines at night or whatever.
No. She's like in the front of the house now. So she's like, she took over Jaden's room and she's got like the big old screen, the TV, the monitor, the Apple monitor, and she's like moving things around. And if I go to the kitchen, I can hear like the machine like printing, and I can hear her watching her show while she's working, or she's on the phone, or she's big on social media, like her TikToks and her I don't know what is Instagram or something. She's always going live on, and I can hear her like she's like talking to her clients and people that are like responding to her. And I'm like, Jesus, like I want to get on there and be like, go to bed, like, but she can't, like, she's a hustler, man. Like it's crazy. And
that's that's the crazy thing too. It's like now that with the internet, if you have a good product, if you have something that's good, if you package it well and you're professional, and back in the day you could, they say fake it till you make it. You can fake it till you make it.
But
here you can make it and fake it. Like you can make it because you have a good product. But you can set up your internet, or you can set up all your socials to look like your business is way bigger than what it is, because the packaging and the product itself is just on point.
Yeah, like it's amazing.
It's on another level, and all that. I mean, you said with Google reviews, all of it matters. At the end of the day, all of it matters.
I think we just hit like 6,000 followers on Facebook. Like the shop itself hit like 6,000 followers.
Yeah.
So it was pretty big for us, and everyone's just always showing love, So like same thing like with Mandy's business. Like she's the one that's on top of everything, and she has a big response. Like people respond to her so well, and stuff like that. And she's the one that pushes to go help this person, help this group or this team, and do this and do that, and make sure like I love to stay involved with, like, what's going on in the community with the, we're big with sports, with baseball and football and basketball, like our clientele, not just my clientele, but hers also, because she deals with like the parents. I deal with a lot of the kids because I'm cutting their hair. She deals with the moms a lot, and some of the dads that order stuff. So it kind of like we go hand in hand with each other, so it helps a lot, it's crazy. Like she's a hustler, man. It's insane. Like, I just, man, so like I want to pull her out of, like, away from the computer too sometimes, and she knows like when like it's go time here, like it's go time over there also. So it's good, man. It's really
good.
Yeah.
So this is a process, right? I tell everybody, anything successful or anything good, it takes a long time, and it may not seem like a long time to somebody who just found you on social media, or somebody who just like decided, hey, I'm going to take this leap and I want to be a barber, right? Or I want to be a business owner. I tell everybody it takes at least 10 years. 10 years to like really get good at something.
Right.
And then once you're there, now what you do with it is a totally different story, because you could come into the shop, not sell yourself, not post on social media, not hand out business cards, not really get to know a customer. Hey, it's a walk-in. Like I've gone to other shops, and I'll walk in and they'll cut my hair and they'll be like, how do you like it? Like, oh, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I love it, man, thanks, yeah. None of them has ever said like, get my number. Here's my number. Text me, so you can just text me next time, right? Like those little things.
Yeah, they matter.
Those little things, really matter. So to build up that reputation and that following, it takes 10 years. So I want to ask you, where were you at 10 years ago? And I guess we kind of talked about this already, but where were you at 10 years ago? And for somebody who's just starting now and wants to be where you're at, like, what would you tell them? What would you tell yourself? I guess it's a two-part question. What would you tell yourself 10 years ago? And for anybody who's starting now, what would you tell them about the whole process?
Don't wait. Just do it. It's like, I guess it's kind of like, how do you say, like, when, we're not sure we're ready to have a kid. You're never ready to have a kid. Yeah, no. It's one of those things that, like, you just, if it's something that you really want to do. 10 years ago, I was in the plant and I wasn't I was so focused on like the money that I was making then, make sure I can take care of my family then, versus really doing what I was passionate about and what I loved and what was really gonna make me happy, mentally and emotionally and for my family, because even though I was making good money, like we talked about, I was away still. I was still away. I was still, missing birthdays and holidays and all that good stuff, and not seeing them go, like when we wouldn't lay down together, you know what I'm saying? They'd be asleep. I'd get home and they'd be knocked out. I'd get up, I'd go to sleep, get up, and they'd still be asleep, and I had to be back at the plant in 5 hours, 6 hours, so those are the toughest things, So 10 years ago then, I was like doing that, so if that was me then, I'd say, man, I wish I did this 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
I wish I did.
You should have started 10 years ago.
Yeah.
If you would go back 10 years,
I'd say do it 10 years before
hey,
that.
go back in time and do it. Go back in time 10 years and do it, because by now.
It would have been crazy. It would have been, who knows, probably could have been 3 or 4 shops already, and, a bigger brand, but the most important thing is that we're here, that's the most important thing is that we're here now, and, we're growing, and, we have a good team behind us.
But also 10 years ago, who's really telling you, like, go for it?
Man, it was, we always talk about it. We always talk, we go eat breakfast in the mornings. We always talk about things that we want to do, and, the plans that we have for the future, and, why don't we do it? Why don't we do it? Yeah. Like, we should do this and we should do that. Because it's going to
be hard.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Because I don't know if
the what ifs and everything,
and that's one of my hardest things to overcome always, especially, I've been telling you, I'm going to start a podcast. And you're like, dude, do it, bro. Do it, bro. Do it. But I've been saying it forever. And then now that I'm doing it, you're like, all right, cool. Yeah, let's sit down. But it's like, I think sometimes we're our biggest, roadblocks is ourselves.
100%. Like I said before, like, ain't nobody stopping us but us.
Yeah.
We all have a choice. And if there's something you want to do, just do it. 100%. Even with like Henry, I hit him up one morning. Now let's go eat real quick. It's 8 a.m. Let's go eat real fast. All right. And we're talking, we always lock in when we talk. And man, I think I want to do goodies.
Oh yeah.
Do it, bro.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? I told him, we're sitting there talking to each other. I'm like, right now, when we leave, start a nap and you start doing your own thing. Like, forget everything else.
Yeah.
And man, he called me. It was like,
hey, create a logo.
Yeah, create a logo.
Create a mission statement.
What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And it was like, yeah. And
put it out there.
Yeah, put it out there. Just let it go.
Start saying yes to anything and everything.
That's it.
And those small yeses turn into big yeses.
Yep.
For those of you who are listening, we're talking about, I'm going to put the logo up too.
Yeah.
Goodies is a delivery service started by one of our brothers also here in town. Yep. But they'll ship anything to you wherever you're at. They'll deliver it if you want it delivered. Of course, everything, there's a fee for everything.
Yeah.
But it's a service, right? And if it's something that you can't do yourself and you need it done,
he'll do it.
You need the goodies, call Goodies.
Yep.
Right?
For sure.
100%. So that's one thing too. Yeah. It's like, if you're already working in that industry somewhat, or if you have an idea and you want to do it, like, let it rip.
Just let it rip.
The worst thing that happen is, like, it's going to start off slow.
Yeah.
That's how everything starts.
It might not work right away. More than likely, it's not going to, like, just, like, in that second, it's not going to blow up. Like, it just, I don't know who it happens for. I've never heard a story where it's like, man, I started this and 2 minutes later it was like crazy.
Yeah.
But
I tell everybody, consistency is the best ingredient for anything.
Yeah.
When you want it to be successful.
Yes.
Like, you want your grass to grow nice and green, you better water it.
Gotta be patient.
Consistent. You gotta be patient. It takes time, especially when it comes
and you gotta have faith. Like, the biggest thing is having faith, and like doing things and believing in yourself and putting a team around you that's gonna, like, believe in you and lift you up and stuff like that. Talking with, like, Lito, Henry, Oscar, Jimmy, Harrison, like, our brotherhood that we have. That's one thing that we're really honest with each other. Yeah. I can say that 100%. And some of the things, like, I don't even, like, they get into conversation and I'm just, like, so far behind from, like, cutting hair. Like, I'm like, what's, like, or like, I'm saying talking about something else.
Yeah, in a group chat. Yeah, for
in
sure.
the group chat. Yeah. So, but one of the things I can say is like we're super honest with each other. But we have there's a group of us brothers that we can always be honest with each other, and you know, they always lift each other up and tell us when like we shouldn't or shouldn't do something, and you know, stuff like that. So I think that's very important to have like in your life also. Consistency, being honest with each other, and just being patient, man, is like one of the hugest things. And just do it. Like it's crazy. Just do it and just go for it.
The second time, last episode, Lupe said the same thing. He was like, just do it, man.
Yeah. And that's small business owner. Like, you know, I mean, you see anybody like, how'd you do it? Man, I just did it. I took a chance. Yeah. You know, and it's you know, it's crazy. That's just what it comes down to, really. Yeah. Yeah, just really taking a chance and believing in yourself, you know. So that's really
believing in yourself when even the voice in your head's like, nobody's gonna get a cut. Yeah. Nobody's gonna call for delivery. Nobody's gonna come out to your comedy show.
Which is awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, went and checked out Lito at the comedy show. At the comedy club downtown Mesquite.
Shout out to Mesquite.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was a good night.
I mean, he's been my brother forever. I've been doing comedy for 12 years. I think you only came one other time.
I came to one other one,
but it was like an open mic.
Yeah, it was an open mic. Yeah,
so it wasn't an actual show. So it took 12 years for him to come. And yes, I did make him buy a ticket.
I did buy a ticket. Yeah,
you bought a ticket,
and I bought a bunch of food
because I don't get free haircuts.
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Yeah. We support each other.
We support
each other.
I support him. He supports me. I mean, it was
awesome, man.
That's right.
It was awesome.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but
no, it was awesome. It was funny, entertaining. It was good.
Live.
Man. It was live.
It was live art and like live stand up.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, because it's like I've grown. The first time you saw me at an open mic, man, dude, that was a long time ago. That was probably like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
it was a while.
And then open mics, like going to the gym and working out. Like, we want to watch Michael Jordan work out in the gym, but we want to see him in the game, right?
Right.
I'm not saying I'm Michael Jordan when it comes to comedy, but I mean, like, we want to see like the finished product. Like, we want to see your bits. We want to laugh. We want to be in the moment. We want to see how you think on your feet or whatever the case is, right?
Which was awesome was like the real life events. Like I feel like the story was like yesterday's stuff. Like what happened yesterday, what happened this afternoon, whatever. Like, so it was like, damn, like that just like with your story, with your comedy,
with the comedy,
with your comedy, you know. It was like, man, like this wasn't a skit from like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
You know, it was like super fresh. So
it wasn't something like, remember when George Bush was president?
Yeah. I'm like, I wasn't paying attention. I was doing the thing because I covered my left hand, so I was like reverse layup under the, you know. So, but it was really funny, real entertaining, and it was good stuff. So you got to go check them out. It's good comedy, good clean comedy. It's awesome.
Oh, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. I think that's it. I wanted to end on that note there, where it's like, find your tribe, find people that support you.
Yep.
Just do it. Like, get out of your own head.
Yeah, do it.
Move out of the way. You got anything you want to share before we get out of here?
Man, I just appreciate everybody, you know, from all my brothers to Mandy, the family that you come out, show love, everyone that comes and gets a haircut, you know, every week, every other week, that shows the rest of my barbers love. And no matter what you're doing, you know, show love to everybody else, support the community, which is a very big thing. And just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Also, before we get out of here, I believe Loe got nominated again for 2026 local.
Yes.
So if you guys, this will be out, we're in the middle of March, probably be out in the next week or so.
Right.
I think voting starts in April.
Yes. Is it April? I think it's April. Yeah. The voting for the
I'll find it and I'll edit it in here.
Yeah.
But I believe voting starts in April. So if you guys support the shop, love Loe, make sure you go and find the links, and we'll post them in here too. We'll post the links on the pages, or on the Respond If You Please pages, or on the YouTube, so you guys can go out and vote for the shop, because I know the shop's nominated. I know Lowe's nominated. Mm-hmm. So if you guys want to go and do that, don't forget to go and do that as well. And also
YouTube page.
YouTube. You have a YouTube page?
No, you're YouTube
page. Yeah, I have a YouTube page too. Yeah. Sorry, my voice cracked. I have a YouTube page for Respond If You Please. I think it's Respond. If You Please.
Not If You Please. Yeah.
I don't remember where it's at, but it'll be the same page that this video is going to be on. But yeah, follow the Respond if you please. Follow my socials. At the Lito Weapon on Instagram. Lito Cortez on Facebook.
Faderz Barbershop. Low Fades on Instagram.
And Faderz
Barbershop on Facebook.
We'll try to put
Instagram.
we'll try to put all the links.
We'll put everything out there.
Thank you guys once again for tuning in. We're at an hour and 15 minutes.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah, it's good enough. Now we can go home and finish the game.
Watch the game. We're winning right now.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate you. Love you.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you felt the vibe of this episode, do us a huge favor. Like, subscribe, and follow the show on whatever platform you're using right now. And if you know someone who needs to hear this story, share it with them. Word of mouth is how we grow.
This has been a Corpus Christi Originals production.